So it's been 5+ years since the start of the Boruto anime, and the topic of Boruto, specifically the anime, just being overall trash, or it's not good, or it's just filled with filler. That topic has come up time and time again throughout the community, and like myself, I've talked about it to death on this channel, like through dedicated videos, through the end of month subscriber streams, talking with subscribers, other YouTubers, and the discussion could go on and on. And today we'll be looking at Forneverworld's latest Boruto discussion video. And I haven't watched the video yet, but I was thinking about it and saying, hey, maybe I should do like a reaction discussion type of video. Given that more recently, during my end of subscriber stream, we did talk about the fact that if Japan, these companies in Japan really care about the Western audience like that, and even, less recently, I was on the Cloud Ninja podcast with Bara B and Mellow XO and Free Game, and a section in that podcast, I kind of tried to break down my reason of, the problems with the Boruto anime and why fans generally just don't vibe with it. Like mainstream, or even if you're not a mainstream anime fan, if you're just like an anime fan, like why is the general consensus to talk shit about Boruto, or outside of the, like, probably the quote unquote, don't quote me on this, but the niche audience I think the Boruto anime might have here in the West, why is it that persons outside that like generally just don't vibe with it? So given those more recent discussions, and Forneverworld coming out with this video now, I'm like, let's do it. Let's see if his points align with mine, give or take. Of course, I know he'll be talking from the perspective of the more recent Boruto anime episodes, but yeah, I I fell off around episode 234, 235, and I still haven't caught up. I've been saying I wanted to catch up from like 2-3 months now, and I just can't. I just haven't. And I think that's an additional reason why this should be an interesting, I guess, reaction discussion. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, your thoughts. Of course, leave a like and a comment. And naturally, do check out Forneverworld. I mean, then again, who doesn't know Forneverworld when it comes down to the anime community, right? So let's get into it. Yeah, so I haven't watched the video at all, so this should be very interesting to say the least. So let's get into it.
A mi canal hoy día vamos a hablar del anime de Boruto. Si a ti te encanta estos videos de Boruto y anime, dame un dedo. Este dedo, ok, mijo, ya tú sabes. ¡Huepa!
Bro, just come on with the Spanish. Ah, boy.
Okay, people, so over the weekend, I was over on Twitter and I was checking out what the hubbub is about Boruto's anime. The latest arc started, I want to say about a month or so ago now at this point, the whole Kawaki Himawari Academy arc. And I'm not even going to lie, for a little bit now, I've been interested, like, okay, it's a new arc. I haven't been watching Boruto for a while. Maybe this will be the perfect time to hop in and see what's going on. See
I think
if
that's
it's
fair.
yay or nay. And I was like, well, the new episode just came out. Let me check out what's going on the timeline. And I'm not even gonna lie, it was absolute hellfire and
Oh,
grim.
wow.
It was just,
Well, I don't really like I'm on Twitter, but I don't really use Twitter like that. So I probably should more, just to get a better insight into what at least the Western fans are actually thinking as well.
really go and check out
Which is
the
good, you gotta
anime.
see
So
things for
I watched
yourself.
the latest 5 episodes from the beginning of the Academy arc of Himawari and Kawaki up until the latest one, somewhere in like the 260s or something like that. I was like, I'm gonna give it a fair shake. I legitimately started up the anime like, yo, I'm gonna try and really enjoy this. I'm gonna go into it with a different mindset. I understand that it's not going to be the manga. I understand it's not gonna be the most relevant to the grand scheme of things, but damn it.
Yeah, and that's well, the level-headed fans, I would imagine they're taking that approach as well, because at the end of the day, after 2021 where we covered like 40 chapters of the manga, yeah, you can't expect 2022 to be anything too crazy that contributes to the grand scheme of things. I mean, it could have been, but yeah, and it might not be as relevant as he says here, but yeah, it's just the reality of the situation. We like the latest chapter is chapter 72, and like I think probably with this latest episode, we're up to adapting chapter 55, 56, thereabouts. So it's like there's just not enough material. Like, realistically speaking, it just can't happen. Like, especially with the weekly format for the episodes. So in terms of being non-seasonal, but anyway.
Essentially, Himawari just started at the academy, you know, the ninja academy, pretty much basically confirming she is going to be a ninja. I was happy about that. I was like, okay, because it was back and forth on whether or not she would be.
That's still
that would be her
debatable.
choice to actually go into it. And little by little, I'm noticing, okay, they're actually really pushing it forward. She's going to the ninja academy, and considering her abilities that we've seen her to be shown throughout, like, the Boruto anime, every time, you know, she would get mad and her Byakugan
one-shotting Naruto.
It really always gave me high hopes for this character, so I was very excited, like, okay, we're starting the academy. And then on top of that, you add in Kawaki, because I will tell you right now, the best thing about the Boruto anime right now over the last month and some change is the relationship between Kawaki and Himawari, this older brother, little sister dynamic. But listening in and found out that, oh, Kawaki's actually on a mission, because he was actually acting out of character. He was actually acting a little weird in the first episode alone. It was pointed out multiple times by Himawari. Dog, why?
I mean, despite this whole, I guess, complaints about Kawaki and his character, to me, I don't know, maybe Fornever will probably mention it at some point in the video. I think the bigger problem is the, how to put it, because when I heard about this arc, I was thinking it kind of emphasizes the fact that the anime and the manga really aren't on the same page, because more recently in chapter 72 of the manga, we had Himawari basically considering if she should become a ninja just to help things where Boruto is concerned. So it's like, when we get to that point, will we reference this arc? Will the anime do things? I mean, the anime has changed things from the Kawaki and the Kara arcs to kind of fit things in with how they're, you know, doing things in the anime. So I'm expecting that will be the case. But it's like, will this be relevant to her potential decision to become a ninja? Or will it be like some kind of contradictory type of deal where you have this here, and then when we get to that point, it's like, okay, but you had this whole arc where you were in the academy, ninja training, all of that. You know, how will it contribute to the grand scheme of things? That's the thing. That's basically it in a nutshell.
I'm gonna just give it to you guys flat, raw, and uncut. This arc, the 5 episodes I've seen thus far, freaking sucks. Like, no.
All right. So I might cut this video because, I mean, Forneverworld's video is already like almost 19 minutes. So just to ensure this doesn't go too long, I'll be cutting this up more than likely to get my commentary throughout. Based on what I'm hearing here, it just seems like persons are just complaining. I wouldn't say for no reason, but it might as well be for no reason, honestly. I mean, the way that Forneverworld broke it down, it makes sense. I haven't watched episodes myself, so I can't be 100% sure, like, for myself, but more than likely, yeah. It seems like a person might be just complaining for no reason regarding Kawaki's character, without really, like, digging in and try to look into the nuance of the situation for the most part. So it just seems like that to me. But I just find it funny that he says the episodes suck. Let's see what he says here, though.
Cap, no, but I'm not doing this for any other reason than just straight up to tell you my honest experience that I had yesterday watching these 5 episodes of the Boruto anime. It was freaking bad. I'm really, really good with slice of life. Oftentimes I prefer it than just always having battles and all of this other stuff. So anybody that want to say, oh, you just want fights, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. I just say it to you guys. I felt like I was being tortured watching these episodes. I was like,
no,
I'm
bro.
gonna like this. I was fighting through. I'm gonna like this. I wanna like this. Yeah. I even went in with the mentality, again, if I understand this isn't gonna be the Boruto anime that I really love, like what we got with 2021, but it was no dice.
2021
Like one of the
Boruto
episodes
anime
is that
this
there's
year.
a tea party and there's mustard in the cake. Another one is like, ooh, haunted house. And I mean, I appreciated some aspect to it, maybe in retrospect, but the teacher that she's just worthless. She couldn't take down a bear, but Kawaki was able to knock that bear down. And just the one episode where she's like doubting herself as a teacher, it just, oh my god. Like looking at the Boruto anime,
Yo, it's like making it like the worst thing
what
since
it brought to the table. Starting off with 2017, the Academy, terribly bad. 2019's Boruto anime, for the majority of it, was hell. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, there was some good to it, and I will still stand that in comparison to this arc, it was god tier with like the Mitsuki retrieval and all of that
Oh,
jazz.
yeah, yeah.
Like there was some good to it, but for the most part, the Boruto anime 2019, it was just terrible. The only thing that I even really remember with any type of fondness of the 2019 anime is the stuff that people really freaking hated, and that's the whole Jiraiya, you know, flashback time travel boyhood arc or whatever. I actually really dug it for the most part. I get the writing was very, very off, but considering that it really just felt like serving original Naruto fans, I absolutely love that arc, and I don't really care. See, I can be honest, like if something, that arc was not good written, it was a lot of things that was off, but I absolutely adored just going back in time and, you know, Boruto's interactions with his father, understanding what his father went through as a child. We're having
I mean, to be honest, the boyhood arc, it was interesting. It was an interesting watch for me. I didn't think it was boring. I was like fully engaged with each episode. But yeah, I mean, there were a lot of power scaling issues, I think, within that arc, honestly. But definitely, I still actually like the arc. Definitely, I much more than what we got. You said this is 2019, right? So between the Mitsuki stuff and then we had the Jugo Curseal Hamaru going to a bunch of for me forgettable episodes.
Kurama and him, all of that jazz. It was alright, that arc. I really enjoyed it. It was badly written, poorly written, but it was very entertaining. But still, 2019 Boruto anime was the worst year we had. 2020, the anime really started to heat up. We got into that Kara activation. Deepa was awesome, the best anime original villain in the entire show. It was like, okay, well, we're getting there. And then 2021, Boruto anime went from 0 to 100 real quick. I mean, it was just peak. Like, I said it when I read the manga, and I'll even say it while I was watching the anime as well, that I really almost felt like I was watching OG Naruto or Naruto Shippuden again with 2021's Boruto anime and 2020's Boruto manga. Like, that content was just so freaking good. It was just so entertaining. It was so with the mysteries and everything.
I mean, I've said it myself. Yeah, 2021 is the best year for the Boruto anime. It has been, like, there's no doubt. I mean, coming from the latter half of 2020 with the last piece of the last half of the Kara activation arc going into 2021, I think probably the best of the Boruto anime, to be honest.
Absolutely loved all the material that the Boruto anime brought with 2021. Fast forward to 2022, and this is probably a worse year, in my opinion, for the Boruto anime than even 2019. I'm gonna throw the, not even argument, I'm gonna just say straight up, I feel this is the worst year the Boruto anime has ever freaking had. I mean, this, the love of God, make some interesting shit, okay? I don't care if you're gonna do another boyhood time travel arc, this time to the 4th grade Shinobi War or to Madara's past when he was a child.
I mean,
those
are some interesting ideas
to get things cooking again, or dare I say it, make something like the Deepa filler. The Deepa anime original stuff was amazing. I really enjoyed it. Deepa was kind of like a Hisoka, Hunter x Hunter-esque type of character. He was catching, well, he wasn't, what, did he catch bodies? He was knocking motherfuckers out. He was doing the damn thing. Go do something like that and way less of what the heck they're doing, because it feels like it's counterproductive to what's happening with, you know, the whole growing with the show. The audience, like, I don't know if maybe recently a lot of the audience abandoned the Boruto anime after like 2021's peak, and then they went to 2022 and they were like, yeah, I can't get jiggy with it. No, it's probably going to go that route, but as it stands right now with the Boruto anime. It's doo-doo bread. But let me know what you guys think. Love it, hate it, your thoughts on
All right. As I said, I'm more like I'm gonna cut this video up so it doesn't stretch on for too long. Even though it might be long already as it is, but I mean, one, as I said, I can't really comment too much because I'm not up to date with the anime. Dropped off around episode 230 something, so I'm not even finished with the Miss Village arc. Well, take two just yet. But I think probably the fact that I've even dropped off is indication enough. Honestly, where do I even start with this? Honestly, because one, as Forneverworld said in the video, right? Yeah, it's 2021. We had mainly, if not only, manga content, so we can't really expect 2022 where we have a series that's monthly with and we're doing weekly episodes. I mean, what are we going to really expect? So I'm glad he kind of looked at it in that, I wouldn't say nuance, it's just common sense when it comes down to the whole, Boruto situation, really and truly. But at the same time, I've always said it that it kind of comes down to, like, in a situation like this where you're gonna have to wait until a major portion of your source material actually builds up. What's the middle ground between creating content that allows the viewers to actually wait for the main source material, or one of the major contributors to your source material, to your show. Like, what's the middle ground between waiting till that builds up and keeping the audience engaged? And I think that's the issue that the Boruto anime tends to have on a, well, obviously it's not on an annual basis, but every now and then, and I mean, they've proven that they can actually do content that really can fit or actually accomplish the goal of meeting that middle ground that I just pointed out. I mean, the latter half of the Kara activation arc, trust me, I was totally invested for the most part. And I mean, that arc, even though we had a lot of other interesting arcs that I liked, I think that latter half of the arc didn't really, it met that middle ground, and there wasn't too much, I don't think there was too much like power scaling issues like that. So it was just I was fully engaged with it. So they've proven they can do it, and based on what's going on, it just seems like it's that point in time where they're just not doing that. They're not doing a good job of doing that. Now, as I said in the beginning, in previous discussions with subscribers, or even on the Cloud Ninja podcast, I well, more so this subscriber stream, but we were basically talking about, in terms of the persons who are writing this, do they care what we as the Western audience think? Because as it stands, even to date, I have no idea what's the reception to the Boruto anime like as of today, when when it comes on to the Japanese audience, our Japanese demographic, which I expect, or should logically think, is the primary audience for this show. And I have no idea. Maybe they could still be loving it like buttered bread. I don't know. Maybe. So maybe us here in the West, our complaints are just that, complaints, and it doesn't really matter how much we complain. I don't know. I just don't know the layout of the land when it comes on to the higher ups and how they're viewing us in the West when it comes on to the product known as Boruto, specifically the Boruto anime. So it's really and truly coming down coming down to that. So I don't know honestly what to say regarding that. I don't want to go too much in depth more in terms of the whole dissecting what doesn't make the Boruto anime work. Talked about that to death already, to be honest. But it just seems like we're just at that point in the Boruto anime right now, and it is what it is. Granted, I think what I will say is that having, I mean, we always say, well, the Boruto animes, everything's canon, but I mean, it might as well be filler. But I think one of the big issues sometimes is that, like, based on how he talks about this arc, they doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, right? And I think what should be happening is there needs to be more synergy between the anime and the manga, right? Pockets of time naturally that the manga might skip out. We can focus on having some arcs in those pockets of time that really contribute to the whole vibe in the manga. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Granted, don't get it confused, the anime does really and truly improve on the manga material and establish itself like distinctly from the manga continuity essentially. But so it doesn't really work in synergy. So if it what I'm trying an example of what I'm trying to say is that, for example, what I said in this video earlier, where in the recent chapter we had Himawari saying, yo, should I become a ninja to help out Boruto? And the whole vibe, and this is just me, the whole vibe I get from Himawari in the manga is that she has never done anything academy related. But in the anime, when we get to that point in adapting chapter 72, I'd imagine they'll reference back, all these academy based episodes that we're going through now. So the thing is, it just, the anime isn't necessarily synergizing with the manga. It's improving on the manga material and, making use of its established, anime only episodes and trying to synergize that with the manga material. But it's not necessarily synergizing with the manga, if you get what I really mean, so that's the thing. And I think that's what really contributes to having arcs like this that don't really feel all that important in the grand scheme of things, because it's not like it's not like in the manga they're referencing this arc to say, oh yeah, so this is actually relevant to what happened in the manga. It's not like when you see Sumire in the manga, you can say, oh, we can refer back to the anime to say, oh yeah, so we have our backstory, yada yada yada. It's not like that. And I think that's part of the problem. But it is what it is. Can't really do much about that. Of course, if you want a new dedicated video to me breaking down what I believe has contributed to Westerners not really vibing with the Boruto anime, just generally speaking, outsider persons that really do, follow up on Boruto, we can do that if you want, but yeah. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. This video is long enough as it is. Sanjae Uchiha, hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next Boruto, I guess, reaction discussion. If there's any like other Boruto videos you want me to react and give my thoughts on, so, or have a discussion on, whatever. Sanjae Uchiha, see you guys in the next one.